Hi again, everyone. Scott Player Popculture fan here, and I'm finally going to review Pokemon X and Y, the Generation 6 Pokemon games that are the first 3D Pokemon games of the mainline Pokemon series, not counting Colosseum and XD Gale of Darkness, because those games came out back in 2004 and 2005. Those games are console games, they're spin-offs, but those are considered the real first RPG 3D Pokemon games. So, I mean, technically, you could say X and Y are the first 3D Pokemon games, but they're not. That title goes to Pokemon Colosseum for the GameCube. So, moving on. So, Pokemon X and Y. What are my thoughts? Well, I think X and Y are easily one of the best ones, one of the best Pokemon games in my opinion, because not only is it just, in a new region and, it's all in 3D and all of that, but it actually has quite a bit of story to it in the form of a lot of the characters like Shauna and your rival, and this is really the first Pokemon game, in my opinion, that really does have a compelling story to it, with the Team Flare and their boss Lysander, and the whole thing with the that really tall guy. I think his name is AZ. Just a lot of the story in this game in X and Y is really compelling to me, and if there was like like an enhanced Z version, I could talk about like a more completed story. But right now, as of now, there's only X and Y, so I can only talk about these games. So yeah, another thing that I love about these games is that they introduced the fairy typing, which gave new Pokemon the fairy type, as well as older Pokemon like the Meryl family received the fairy typing. The Gardevoir, the psychic type Pokemon, also received the fairy typing. A lot of older Pokemon received the fairy typing once this game came out, and that added a new level of challenge to the battling system, because you have to figure out how to defeat Pokemon from previous generations because of this new fairy typing that adds a new level of challenge to figure out a strategy to beat these Pokemon, and especially the new fairy type Pokemon that were introduced in this game. And it's very, I really like that. It adds a certain level of challenge to the game, which I really enjoy. And like I said, this game, it takes place in the Kalos region, and the Kalos region is very much inspired by Paris, France. So you see that there are certain buildings, certain monuments from Paris, France that you see rendered in 3D in this game, like the Eiffel Tower. That is the gym in Lumiose City. It's very reminiscent of the Eiffel Tower, and there's a lot of other monuments and places and things like that in this game that are inspired by real locations in France. So I really like that, and especially the professor in this game, Professor Sycamore. He speaks, some of his dialogue is very French, which is pretty cool, and also the introduction of trainer customization in this game just added a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with your player character. You can dress them up, make them look more like you. Like, I've spent quite a bit of time, trying to get my player character to kind of actually look like me, and it's pretty cool the way you can do that. I mean, trainer customization, it's much more refined Sun and Moon, and you can do a lot more with trainer customization in Sun and Moon than in this game. But still, though, it's still really cool that they brought it into this game. And and another thing about X and Y is that I'm a huge fan of Colosseum and XD Gale of Darkness. I mean, I know those games have their flaws, but I really like playing X and Y. There are certain aspects of these games that do remind me of Colosseum and XD a little bit, like some of the way you like defeat the Team Flare enemies, some of their animations when they get defeated, kind of remind me of the way you would defeat the Cypher peons in the Colosseum and XD. There are certain things like that do remind me of those games, and I think that the developers that made Colosseum and XD helped make X and Y, and I could definitely see that. And it's amazing to me. It's a fun experience. There's, like I said, in every Pokemon game, the music just really adds to the experience. I mean, it's not as innovative as Black and White, in which, in Black and White you could talk to NPCs and the NPCs would add new layers of music to the music in the background. There's not too much of that in these games, but still, because this takes place in Kalos and it's very inspired by Paris, France, you can definitely hear that kind of music that would play from that country, and it's very enticing. I really like it. It's definitely easily Pokemon X and Y are some of my favorite Pokemon games to play quite often. I play these games all the time, and another thing about these games is that with Black and White introducing, TMs that could be endless use, that comes back into this, and I really love that. And the how you use repels, which was first introduced in Black and White 2, was also used in this game and every other game after this, which is also quite fun to have, much more convenient with the use of repels and just all of that. I love this game. X and Y are my personal favorite Pokemon games, next to Gold and Silver. Just an amazing game. And if I had to give a percent score, it would be actually a 95%, probably not a 100%, but a 95% for sure. An A if it was a movie I was reviewing. So yeah, that's my review for X and Y, and I will finally cap off this series of video game reviews with Sun and Moon the next time I review that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.